And here we have an exciting match between Rhoads TheDoctor and the teamless Kip Enyan in Fiji Star League, Week 4. Game 1 sees good luck, have fun manner from both of our players, with Kip Enyan spawning as the blue Protoss, interesting, in the bottom left corner, and Rhoads TheDoctor spawning as the purple Terran in the top right corner. Kip Enyan apparently race switching to Protoss, thus knocking a Terran out of our fair tournament here. We started the tournament with 4 Terrans, I think, and 1 switch to Zerg, and now 1 switch to Protoss. So interesting to see if people are saying that this is because Terran is the hardest, or if people just have more fun with our other races. Connor getting the early supply depot, nothing really interesting here, and Nick getting a gateway on 12. Both players going for pretty standard openings. Connor getting a refinery, so if this were any other league, I would say this means he's not going for fast Reapers or Hellions because of the speed he got that refinery. But it has to be remembered that this is Fiji Star League, where we have absolutely no idea what's going on. Nick taking double gases, pretty standard, getting a second pylon, just macroing up, not wanting to do anything too ridiculous. And there's a cybernetic score on 17, so still no fancy business. Connor opting to get a first marine and nothing else. Is he saving up for an expand? He's got 400 minerals here. Let's see, does he use that for an expo? No, he was just waiting to get his orbital command, which apparently costs 400 minerals. I mean, it's very possible that he just wanted to have extra money in the bank, because all these players are used to playing with a lot of money in the bank. Kip getting an early Mothership Core and an early Twilight Council. This could be either Blink Stalkers, or we could see DT play. Oh, but also getting a Robo, which makes me think Blink Stalkers. You use the Robo to get an Observer, so you can see up cliffs, so you can blink the Stalkers past your opponent's defenses. This is usually useful if your opponent does something like Fast Expand, but here, since Connor has no expansion, it's possible that Nick will opt to blink directly into his base, right into the teeth of Connor's units. But once again, this being Fiji Star League, they opt to prove me wrong, as we see the Dark Shrine. This is probably what spawned Kip's desire to tech switch over to Protoss, so he could get a Dark Shrine, so he could, DT, because when Protoss Dark Shrine, Connor getting some siege tanks, not wanting to siege it though. I mean, who would, honestly? They're so much cooler in non-siege mode, even though they don't shoot as far or do much damage or anything. It's interesting to note at this point that both players are not just one-basing it, but that Kip also seems to be building all of his buildings in a line so that he can prevent Ling run-bys, maybe? I don't know, maybe Terran has developed some sort of new melee unit, and Kip is protecting himself from their assault. There's the Warp Prism. He's going to use this Warp Prism to grab his Dark Templar and carry them across the map. This way he doesn't have to have like a proxy pylon or anything. Not that he doesn't have enough pylons, actually. His supply is quite good. So we'll let that go over while we look at Connor's base. Connor doing this 1-1-1 strategy. The last time I saw him do this, it was against Adam in their round 3 match. Connor won his first game that match, though lost the series, and but it was a good strategy, and it's nice to see he's falling back on something that's pretty solid. Just looking at worker saturation for a minute, Kip is a little oversaturated, and Connor is right on cue. He could maybe do with 2 more or 2 less, depending on your schools of thought for saturation, but it's not like he's undersaturating his second base, which is just going up. War Prism making its way across the map with 4 DTs. If I were day 9, then I would say that each DT after the first is for really not wanting detection. So if you look at this, you can see that Nick really, really, really doesn't want Connor to have any detection. Connor does have an orbital command with a ton of energy on it though. So if Nick isn't careful, he could just lose all his DTs instantly to this army. If we look at the supply counts, they're actually perfectly even. Connor getting supply blocked on 51, but putting up 2 supply depots somewhere? Yeah, 3 supply depots to rectify that situation. Kip, once again, just building more warp prisms and more DTs. He really wants this DT play to work. And Connor moving his army down. So this is, if you look, this is the position that you would want to be in if you were going blink stalkers. So you could blink up over here. It's also a really good position if you're dropping DTs and your opponent's tanks are all sieged and therefore can't move. The DTs are coming and immediately going to work on Connor's supply. 1 supply depot down as they move in. Let's see how many workers they get. DT's one-shot workers. This is gonna be rough. Will Connor respond, or will he just lose? Will he just lose everything? Unit counting station 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Connor is down to 2 workers. Kip has successfully killed 28 of them. And Connor moving his army up, but not attacking the DTs. He's just scanning because he wants the DTs to know that he knows what they're doing. Is he going to scan again? He should scan again. Scan again, Connor. Oh, but he misses. He misses one of the DTs with his scan. I'm sure he's going to try and land his Vikings, but the Vikings will probably go down to the DTs. Nick Payne with the Rafflecopter, and Connor just dying. More DTs in. So, at the end of the day, and there goes the first engineering bay and the second engineering bay. Yeah, this is Connor's down to his 1 mining SCV. He's got plenty of money, but nothing to kill DTs with. Oh, 0 SCVs. So I think we're about to see a GG from the Doctor here. I don't think any doctor in the world could fix this. How many DTs do we have? 7 DTs. Now, you don't usually want DTs in an army-to-army battle because they have very low health for a unit that costs as much as they do. But when you have no army, DTs are very effective. Though, I will note that while Connor has no army, what he does have are 2 command centers that can fly, because Terran is in fact bullshit. So, we'll see how long this game lasts with, neither of Connor's command centers are burning, so it's more than just a waiting game. If Connor really wanted to, he could maybe build an SCV and send them around the map and try to make the game go to a draw, but I don't think he could really force it. Even though Kip has almost mined out his main, or he's in the process of mining out his main, he really hasn't. Yeah, so the game's over. Not with a bang, but a whimper.